37 degrees here today in Isan, and I had about 30 minutes before my weekly gym session. Going to be doing some deadlifts today in the gym, and I thought to myself, why don't I make a little bit of a video about, I guess, a topic which I think I see a lot of people struggling with. They're either in denial or just kind of accepting the fact, no pun intended, the fact that they are overweight, not in great shape. Now, you know, this is going to be directed more slightly towards foreigners coming over to Thailand. Maybe you're kind of middle-aged, could be 30, 40 plus, beyond 50, 60 plus. But obviously, a lot of these principles can be applicable to anyone trying to lose weight, get in better shape. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, well, who am I to really give any suggestions on any of that stuff? Well, I have qualified nutrition qualifications. I'm a qualified personal trainer and strength and conditioning coach, and I worked in the industry for about 9 years. So I do know a bit about what I'm talking about. And not only that, but I also have been through the experience of becoming overweight shortly after becoming a father, losing that weight, and I understand how it is, right? Certain things do get in the way. I get it, right? You might have a really intensive job, it's very stressful, maybe a relationship, and then once the kids come along, you know, as much of a blessing as they are, your own wellness and your health, getting outside, getting outdoors, strength training in the gym, being quite particular with the foods that you're eating, it kind of takes a back seat. And then all of a sudden you look back, 2-3 years have gone by, and you've got this big gut, you're looking down and you're not able to do the things that you used to be able to do. And then just to recap on my own story, when my wife was pregnant with our now daughter, who is about 2.5 years old, we were in London at the time when she was pregnant, and it was all good. I was having the time of my life, you know, it was great, but I was kind of putting on the weight with my wife. I was doing a lot of late night gaming. With a lot of late night gaming comes a lot of late night beer drinking, eating, things like burgers, chips, absolutely no portion control, no control over what I was eating. I was doing a small amount of training, but it wasn't enough to really suffice for the calorie intake that I was putting into my body, right? Just eating absolute garbage, total garbage, just constantly, basically, from the supermarket, and really just nowhere near as active as I was. I wasn't as active in my line of work doing personal training in the gym, because that kind of all came to a bit of a stop, and we took business and things online a bit more after COVID, which was good in some ways, but wasn't ultimately the best thing for a lot of people's health, because, you know, less socializing and more so just less activity. All right, actually being in that gym, being in that environment really helped me specifically, and I'm sure a lot of other people that were kind of, I guess, subdued or made to do more sedentary roles, maybe from home. So I looked down the scales one day. I was in a hotel in Korat in Thailand, and the scales came up at 92 kilos, and I looked at my mum and we basically bawled our eyes out together. No, I'm joking. We were actually laughing. Well, I laughed, you know, I kind of laughed, and then I shortly realized after that, I was like, damn, this is too much. This is too much weight, because my kind of comfortable weight was really around 77 kilos. So it was quite a difference. Whilst I probably wouldn't say I was obese, I was definitely on the side of definitely overweight. I was definitely carrying too much body fat. Okay, and you know, it just isn't good, right? You don't want to carry too much body fat. It increases the risk of all chronic illness, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, right? A plethora of illnesses. Increased chances of getting arthritis, because the extra added unnecessary weight on that body is putting more stress on the joints, particularly your ankles, your knees. Guys, I've seen it. So there's a lot of reasons why you really want to keep that weight down. A meme that goes around all the time is, it's all good, it's just the dad bod, it's normal, it's just a part of aging. Well, I disagree, you know, I don't personally think, I mean, of course, aging does play a role in this, but a lot of it is due to the fact that we slow down. We just become less active, things get more stressful, we have more responsibilities, and it's as simple as that. But there are ways that you can mitigate this as you age. So we're going to be talking about that, what you can do simply in today's video. All right, so we're going to break this down into a number of simple steps. I haven't just gone on Google and looked up, okay, step 1 to 10 of how to lose weight or anything like this. This is just my own personal tips, simplified down based on my experience in the industry of health and wellness, helping people lose weight, get fit, rehab from injury, train specifically for their sport, amateur and professional. All right, and just essentially compiling that all down in the best way I possibly can into what will hopefully be a video that's probably under 15 minutes, okay? Now, the first thing, guys, is going to be acceptance of the fact, all right? You look in front of the mirror, Are you overweight or not? All right, it's a yes or a no. It's not a down to emotionally what makes you feel good. It's not a question of, oh, if you're emotionally in a good place, yet you're clearly 20, 30 kilos overweight, then it's all good. No, that is the biggest load of shit. All right, this body positive, complete bullshit. Okay, maybe I'm going to be offending some people out there, but quite frankly, I couldn't care less. All right, because I have my strong views, and these are that. Okay, there's no excuse for it. All right, it doesn't matter if you emotionally feel good. All right, if you're overweight, you're overweight. You're not going to feel emotionally good when you come down with an illness and throw your hands up in the air and go, oh my God, I just happened to get a bad draw of the cards and develop cancer or diabetes. I wonder why that is. Well, you're 20 to 30 kgs overweight, mate. What the hell did you think was going to happen? You can't mitigate all risks of these bad things happening completely, but it's about risk management. So accepting the fact, okay? Look in the mirror, accept the fact that you are overweight. Or if you're not overweight, then keep going on that same trajectory. But awareness, accept the fact, right? If you're with a partner or something like that, then if he or she makes jokes towards you and said, oh, you're a bit of a fatty or this, that, and you're getting offended, okay, then probably means that you've got a problem and you're probably a bit overweight or a bit out of shape and you need to be moving on to the next step. So the next thing that I would ask my clients is, why do you want to change? And not only have I been training my own clients in this way for many, many years, okay, almost 10 years, but I've also had a few coaches as well. I had a coach to take me on my transformation, get me down from 92 kilos down to a bit of a low of 77, all right? Stronger, feeling better, eating better, and just overall just a lot healthier and in a better place. Always had a coach. That's one thing I'll say as well, guys. Everyone should have a coach. If you're going to the gym, minimum, at least you should have someone who's written out a progressive program, periodized program for you, and you recheck in with them maybe every month or something. Ideally, you have someone in there, training partner, coach, motivating you, pushing you, all right, each and every session. All right, that's highly what I recommend. It's pretty easy to lose motivation when you're training on your own. That's a real challenge that I've personally had to deal with quite a bit, especially out here in Thailand as well. So leading on from that, guy, it's the why, okay? You really need to think about a strong conviction as to why you want to implement this change. To give you my own example, it was the birth of my daughter and actually becoming a father, which led me to think, look, I want to be active and well and in a good place, and I want to be around for as long as I possibly can and mitigate all the risks that are in my control so I can be the best father possible in a physical and mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever state, okay, for my daughter. All right, so that was my why. Very specifically, I didn't want to overthink it, okay? So you need to find out for yourself. Is it for your partner? Is it for your kids, significant others, all right? Maybe you want to achieve something such as run on a marathon or something, but you've always got to have a very strong why. Write it down, make it your mantra, and don't forget it, guys. Figure out the reason you want to make that change, because when it gets hard, because it will get hard, all right, it will get hard. Any kind of physical change like this is constantly going to be that voice in your head going, it's too hard, I'll give up, I'll have that burger, I'll just chill out for a week and she'll be right, mate. But no, you need to stay on that course 100, 110%, all right? And when you're struggling, you've got to always revert back to, okay, hang on a minute, why did I start this? What was the reason? Now, the next step is going to be your environment, your surrounding. Who do you surround yourself with? What do they do? Are they going out getting pissed, doing drugs, having drinks every weekend, just smashing down burgers, right? Because if they're the kind of people that you're hanging out with and you're trying to make this change and lose a few kegs, then you probably need to make some new friends, okay? That's just the brutal reality, all right? There is that old saying that, you do become the 5 people that you spend the most time with, all right? And I do agree with that. I think it's just basic common sense, basic logic. I do agree with it, guys. If you're on a wellness journey, if you're trying to eat better, if you're trying to train more, you're trying to lose weight, then you need to be or surround yourself with people that are not trying to do the complete opposite, ideally encouraging you, all right? You need to make them aware of that fact, and if they look at you and laugh at you in the face and go, you can't do that, or you won't be able to do that, and no, I don't want to, if they're not supportive of what you're trying to do, then I would beg you to ask yourself, are they really worth having around, all right? I think the answer for me is no, okay? So your environment is everything, all right? Who you surround yourself with. What's your partner like? Are they into the gym? Are they into wellness? What's their diet like? What are their habits like? What are their ideologies like? What's their purpose in life? It all might sound a little bit deep, but all of these things are very, very important, because in order for you to really have long-lasting change, this is really, it's not just a fad, it's a daily discipline. You need to find out a way to keep this up day by day, all right? Not just for a few weeks or a few months or even a year, guys. This has to be a year after year long process, all right? And about growth in the correct direction. Now, there's a lot of talk about what's more important. Is it training? Is it nutrition? Is one more important than the other? Look, in my opinion, nutrition, what you eat, what you put in your body, everything that goes in your mouth is essentially the foundation of your health and well-being, all right? You should be trying to eat as clean as possible from the earth, okay? I'm not going to recommend any particular diets or ways to eat or anything like that, but what I would suggest is that if you're struggling, if you're someone that is struggling, you're having a lot of beers, you're having a lot of too much rice, pasta, sugary stuff, sauces, fizzy drinks, you know, just kind of like the obvious stuff, and if you're a little bit lost and you're not clued up on, I guess, kind of the right things to eat to support your lifestyle, I would highly, highly recommend, no excuses, go and seek out a nutritionist. Guys, seek out a nutritionist, seek out a dietitian, speak to them about your goals specifically, all right? And it's an investment, folks. Yes, it might cost a little bit of money, all right? But if you come over, you're living here in Thailand, you've come over with a bit of cash from maybe the US or Oz or UK or something like that, then it's something that you do want to invest in, guys, all right? Take a bit of time, invest in that, and educate yourself on the best way to change your eating. Then the next big one, of course, is going to be exercise movement. Folks, ideally, I personally recommend that you get at least 10,000 steps per day minimum if you are trying to lose weight. Now, 10,000 steps for you guys that don't really have any idea what that is or trying to get a gauge of it, it's an effort, you know, because I did it for about, I don't do it today, probably get about 5,000-6,000 in these days, but if you're trying to actively lose weight, guys, 10,000 steps you should be aiming to do as an absolute minimum. They can be on the treadmill, ideally outdoors, better to get outdoors in nature, but this is a serious walk. It's not like, oh yeah, I can just stroll around and get 10K steps in. No, like you need to actually go out and make a conscious effort to get those 10K steps in, all right? And depending on how fast you're walking, this can be an hour out of your day, all right? It really is something that you need to dial in to your calendar and really make a conscious effort to do it. All right, 10K steps. That can also be in the form of a run or a jog, all right? Or whether it's walk, jog, run, a combination of 10K steps total, all right? Then on top of that, in my opinion, you want to be doing strength training. Every man and woman should be doing some form of progressive overload strength training. They just should be doing it straight up, all right? Things such as grip strength are scientifically proven to enhance your longevity, all right? The way you increase your grip strength is by lifting bloody weight, lifting heavy stuff, all right? But again, as I kind of mentioned before about getting the PT, getting the coach in your local gym, don't just go in blindly, okay? Don't go in blindly. Don't go into the gym and just look at a few machines and just go sit down on your ass. Oh yeah, I'll do a few reps here and bounce down and do a few reps there, a few reps there. Don't really know what the hell I'm doing, but then I'm done and then I'm out. No, that's just a waste of time, guys. Like, you're going in there, if you value your time, you want to go in there and know that you're doing everything you can to maximize your gains, maximize your efficiency in there. And the best way to do that is to get a coach, get a PT. So don't mess around, seriously. You're only going to put yourself to yourself. I've seen this for 9 years straight, and 10 times out of 10, the people that just go in there with no prior experience kind of wings, as an amateur or someone that's never been in the gym before, they are just totally, I'm not joking, you almost might as well stay at home. Seriously, go in there, get a coach, employ someone, all right? Even if it's someone, a friend or someone that has some experience, and get a bit of a routine going, all right? Again, I'm not gonna comment on which routine is gonna be best because there are a lot of different ways to train. Maybe I'll get into the specifics of, you know, good nutrition approaches, good training approaches for different body types and so forth in future videos. This is more of a generalized steps video. And also, every single person, their goals is different. You're going to have different strengths versus other people. You also probably have injuries, okay? People have back pain, shoulder problems, you know. So there's a lot of things to be considered, but again, it all points back to the same idea that everyone kind of needs their own coach, PT, to analyze you as an individual and work you through and set up a good, somewhat structured plan that you can follow every time you go into the gym. So you're not guessing when you get in there. You don't rock into the gym and then look around and go, what do I feel like doing today? No, you should know already exactly, you know, I'm not saying exact weight and rep even necessarily, but you should know what exercise you're doing, know what you're aiming for. All right, so you've got that plan, your body is ready for it. All right, So that is extremely, extremely important. Then a lot of people, they do a great job in the gym, but that's not actually where the gains are made in terms of your body actually being able to recover. Your sleep is everything. You should be sleeping in a dark room. You should be getting to bed by at least 10 p.m. at night. You should be ideally getting at least 8 hours, getting up around 6 to 8 p.m. All right, if you're going to bed at 10 p.m. ideally, getting up at 6 a.m. naturally with the sun, or with like a sunrise alarm clock or something like that. And you should always try to have at least 1 hour before bedtime where you don't look at any screens, being your laptop, computer, phone, or interacting with any devices. Now, I'll say for myself, that's probably the biggest thing I struggle with, okay? That's not something that I am doing today, but it's something that I know I should be doing, all right? For example, I'm getting to bed at the right time, but I will probably be on my phone a bit up until the point of going to bed, and that's something that I know I need to work on, all right? So again, guys, just remember, this is not me. I'm not saying that I get all of these things 10 out of 10 perfect. Absolutely not, all right? There are a few things I do pretty well, but I know what things need to be done in order to get the desired result. And that sleep's so important, guys. You know, you want to get that good, important sleep routine going every single night. Now, also the stress, guys. You want to try and limit your stress. Stay out of arguments. Try not to get too riled up at work or with the kids or just anything for that matter. Too much raised cortisol and anxiety, guys, you know, it's just going to suppress your gains. It's not going to allow you to lose that weight, all right, as effectively. If your stress levels, essentially if you're too stressed, your body is basically not going to allow you to lose that weight, build that muscle, get that rest it needs as effectively as it could be. Now, that is, again, a huge challenge for myself. I know it's going to be a challenge for a lot of people, but little things you can do, such as a daily 10-minute meditation if you've never done meditation before. Practices such as yoga, Pilates, slowing the body down, deep stretches, okay? Maybe quite boring at first for a lot of people that don't have much experience with that kind of thing. But if you do have quite a high pressure, stressful lifestyle, then yeah, things like your yoga, your Pilates, deep stretching, these are kinds of things that you should really consider doing. All right, guys, so that's virtually all for today's video. I know it was quite generalized, but let me know in the comments, guys, what sort of difficulty stories are you going through? How's your life in Thailand with all these kinds of things, guys? I'd like to know, yeah, I'd like to know a bit of feedback if you're kind of enjoying these videos. I'm just trying to, again, primarily focus on helping foreigners, expats here in Thailand, little issues they may face over here, but some of the content may also be able to be more broadly adapted and used by people just everywhere, guys. So yeah, smash a like if you enjoy it, comment, sub, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.